The Carpenter's Son equips men to serve their neighbors. We have a service program that trains men in the trades, including carpentry, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and finished carpentry. We believe first fishermen, then fishers of men. And the Carpenter's Son is Jesus. Let's go. Welcome back, bros. Welcome back. Good to see you here again. So I want to kind of like give you a sense of like what this warehouse is going to look like, right? So our architect, Chris Bowden, working hard, man, like it's been a blessing to us, just his skill set. So put together this potential kind of like structure, right? You know, how this training space will look like. This is the schematic. As you can see here, if you start from kind of like the right side, where if you look back at the first video, I talked about these training bays. So on the right, far right, will be a carpentry bay. Next to it, electrical, plumbing, finished carpentry, HVAC, a bay for sheetrock, just to kind of house the sheetrock, right? Then we have a bay for tools, we have a bay for the storage area. So it's just like, you know, other materials that we may need. This will kind of like be our landing spot. This would be like, we'll be training the men in each of these bays. You can see here, we have walls partitioned between each bay. Those walls are not currently there, right? There are just pillars there right now. So we're gonna kind of like create walls there and section these spaces off so that we can train the men within each space, right? And I'll kind of show you after this like what an example of like what one of the training bays may look like give you a rough sketch. If you have this open area on top of the base where, like, you know, we can have other things going on there, right? Like we have this open space, like have some training and have, you know, I don't know, other building happening in that space, right? Things that we might be putting together. Now, so you know, on the right side, that's where the entrance was in that first video. Now we go to like on the left side, the bottom left of this floor plan, we have an office, right? We're gonna have a conference room with like mobile walls so that we can kind of like restructure the room the way that we want it. But this is where we'll do the actual instruction, the teaching, right? Before we actually get into the shop and start working, we're gonna talk about what we'll be learning that day. So like half of the day will be more of the teaching, the other half will be more application in the actual training base and hands-on application. And we wanted to create an office because, you know, we in conference room because, you know, we have people who come out to visit, who want to see the space and just kind of like get a feel for like what we're doing. A place to sit down and just converse about what's happening in the space, right? So on the top of the top left hand corner, we also have designed a break room, and this will have kind of like a knee wall in front, so like about, you know, 3 feet high or whatever else, so that, you know, we can see over it. And this will be a place where people can, during the day, because they might spend the whole day here training, to have a place to eat lunch or to change or whatever else that they may want to do in this space. And then next to that, we'll have a restroom there, so, for the guys as well. So we're gonna actually, so right now, like there's nothing, I mean, we have materials in there right now that will be slowly either sold off or given away. And we're gonna have, you know, in this space, it'll be open space, right? So we're gonna actually build this out ourselves, right? We're gonna, you know, start training the guys in the space, in the open space, without any kind of training bays, right? But then like we're gonna start building this thing ourselves, putting this together ourselves, right? And raising the money for materials. So like you'll see a link down below. Like we've priced out. Not only priced out, we've actually, you know, we priced it out for sure. We've like itemized all the materials and tools that we need to take on 12 men and give them what they need so that they can train and start learning these skills, whether as a hobbyist or as a entree into, like, you know, apprenticeship program or into a trade in the space. So a link will be below where if you want to donate or purchase an item to help us, and then that item will be shipped directly to this warehouse. right? So we won't get any money, no money transaction to us, but it's like helping us like buy some of the materials that we're gonna need to like build this thing out, so that we will have all that we need. But let me walk you down real quick into like a sketch of the training bay. So we're on the next slide now. It's a rough sketch, but I want to just give you a sense of what a training bay will look like. So like this training bay will literally have 3 types of walls, right? It'll be open, but there will be an application wall. An application wall will have, so this is an example of the finished carpentry bay. Application wall will have things like crown molding, outside corner, the window, the door, case molding on the doorknob, chair rail molding, the baseboard. Like, these are things that you would put in if you're building if you're finishing a room off, right? So we're gonna train to understand how to put a door in, put a window in, put in the finishing like the baseboard and so on and so forth. There also will be a supply wall, and the supply wall will have all the items and that you would need to be able to identify. So you have to know what chair rail molding looks like, crown molding, case molding, what the differences between those things are. Inside corner, outside corner molding, baseboard, caulk, brad, like what all these things that we're gonna use to actually finish a space after it's renovated. Then on the right side we'll have the tool wall, and the tool wall will have all the tools that we will use to do this work, right? So a circular saw, miter saw, brad nail gun, nail punch, and caulk gun. We'll also have a fall floor, right? So what the floor covering might look like that we might put down as well. But in the training bay, we're going to learn how to put those things in, identify the materials, identify and use the tools that we need to put these things in, right, properly, right? And we will learn how to actually, on the reverse side, we're going to do it in a way we actually learn how to demolish as well. So when we're going into a space, we have to actually take things out to put in new things. But you give you a sense of like what the training bay will look like. So what you're looking at when you click on the link below to help us to get resources, like we have to buy these items so that we can teach, right? And some of them might be donated, it might be used items or items from other places that we can reuse and make use of, right? But we kind of like price it, like let's start with everything new, and as we kind of spread the word that we're doing this, hopefully people will identify, oh, actually, we do have access to this and we're willing to donate these items to this nonprofit program, because we are an official 501c3. You see all that information in the comment and notes below, and again the link to purchase items for us and to kind of like help us out here to get what we need to build out this space. But I want to kind of just give you a sense of like where we are right now, that taking it step by step, but now we're in a process where like we've designed a program, but now really need the resources to now take out, do the labor. Like we're willing to put the labor in for free. To men will come and volunteer, and they'll learn as we do, right? But man, so as always, man, I'm just happy that you're here watching me, listening to me talk about this work that God's put on my heart. But I always say, like, I'm doing this not to be seen, man, but really for you to be encouraged. Whatever work that you're doing for God, for ministry, for other people, to serve other people, keep doing it. Keep pushing, man. And I pray that God walks alongside you as he's been walking alongside me. All right, peace and blessings.